What I'm going to do is actually a live walkthrough of our LinkedIn ads thought leadership strategy so you can understand the thought processes, the deep in-platform strategy that we are actually using. So first thing here, you'll probably see that we have 3 campaign groups. And so we have a brand marketing campaign group, we have an in-marketing campaign group, and then we have an expansion and retention campaign group. Our main thought leadership campaign, what I'm going to do is actually a live walkthrough of our LinkedIn ads thought leadership strategy so you can understand the thought processes, the deep in-platform strategy that we are actually using is housed within this brand marketing campaign group, which is the campaigns that target our entire target audience, including existing pipeline. And so I'll click into this. And then this is going to show me all the different campaigns that we have live. And you can see here, awareness thought leadership campaign is at the top because it gets the most amount of spend. It gets the most amount of spend because it's the most effective, has reasonably low CPMs, gets a lot of reach, and drives a decent amount of ROI for us compared to the other campaigns that we have live. And so I'm just going to click into this and actually start talking through the different settings that we have here, because there's also some more little tidbits that I'm excited to share with you there as well. And so first one you can see here is that we've chosen to use the brand awareness objective. The reason for this is because the goal of this thought leadership campaign is audience penetration. We want to reach as much of the audience as possible. Brand awareness is the only campaign objective that really has a built-in mechanism to help you drive as much reach as possible. So that's the reason behind that. In terms of targeting, this is another hack that I love to use. You'll see here, we use a ton of audience exclusions to actually refine this really tightly. For our core targeting, this is a little hack actually that you can take away. It's one of my favorite little LinkedIn hacks. And for our core targeting, we're actually using a third-party contact list that's built in a platform called Primer, which is third-party audience targeting. And what we do there is that's where we build our job title targeting audiences. And you can see here, this one's Manager Plus. So we're targeting pretty much anyone that holds a budget ICP, and we're doing that exclusively within the US. And so that's anybody that has like marketing, demand gen, revenue, anything kind of adjacent or marketing related is included in that job title targeting audience. And the reason I love to do this is because there's a problem with LinkedIn, which is that you'll target job titles and then are not able to exclude job seniorities. And you find that even with really tight job title targeting, you still have like entry-level roles, training roles, like apprenticeship roles or whatever creeping into it. And you have to do loads of audience cleanup on specific job titles, which is super time consuming and super annoying. And so with this, because we're sending the job titles in as a third party contact list, we can still exclude job seniorities that we don't want to hit, which is awesome. There's one job title that's excluded in this, which is self-employed. And that's it. That's it. We don't have to do any audience cleanup. And you can see that when I look at the seniority of the audience, it's all exactly what we want to hit here. There's like none of the fluff that you will typically see within these audiences. And then another awesome hack that we do is we also have this third party contact list, which is something that we call reverse ICP exclusions. So this is excluding companies that don't match at ICP. And so we can just add an extra layer of exclusions there. And there's obviously some other kind of standard stuff here, which is we exclude any existing customers. We also exclude like some companies that have fallen into the targeting there. We also exclude some specific industries that we don't want to target. So that's first, that's marketing services, advertising services, because this is really our competitors that we don't want to be wasting ad spend on. Also don't want them to be stealing our secrets, even though that's something that they very easily can do. So that's kind of everything on the targeting front. Couple of cool little tactics that you can steal there. On the ad format, you'll really want to select single image. And the reason for that is under the single image ad format, you can also promote text only thought leader posts. So even though it says single image, you can actually promote the posts that don't have a image attached to them. You can't do that with company page posts, but you can do it with the thought leader posts. And so that's everything on the ad format. We don't do anything with campaign tracking parameters on this one, just mainly because we'll actually just add in a link later, which I'll show you how to do in a moment. One more important thing to add here, just make sure audience expansion is turned off Next, you'll want to set your daily budget. That's just whatever you have available. The way that we work this out is that we're kind of hitting a decent amount of reach, and we're also hitting like a decent average frequency as well. And then on the bidding front, you'll also want to make sure that you set the optimization goal to reach. And the reason for that is that this is just going to optimize to reach as many people as possible, as opposed to have as high as possible impressions, which is not optimal. Like, we don't want to just have loads of impressions, because it may do that within more active audiences on LinkedIn, which means we're not going to get as much distribution. And then the only option there is max delivery. We can't put like a manual bid on that or anything like that. And then finally, you'll just want to make sure that you also have your core conversions being tracked there as well. So that is the campaign setup. Final thing here that I want to talk you through is actually how to choose and select an ad to add to this platform. You'll need to go into edit campaign to be able to do this. And then you'll see here, step 3, sponsored content. You want to click onto that. And then instead of clicking create new ad, you'll actually want to click browse existing content. And so you'll do that. That's going to give you the option to then look at LinkedIn members. And so you can look for somebody on your team to do that with. And so I'm just going to select me, because I know there's a post that I want to add to this that performed well recently. And what you're really doing as you're adding this post in, something that got high engagement, high reach, has a relevant value proposition, and it actually ties your product back to a buying situation. And so there is this post, which is hyper relevant right now based on what I'm talking about, which is launching revenue generated thought leadership ads is easier than you think. Here is a simple framework. And for me, that ticks the boxes. You can see here, it got a decent amount of engagement, 24 comments, has a unique value proposition. You can read this and there is a very clear, valuable takeaway. They can read this and then know how to actually implement this strategy. And then we also need to tie it back to the business, right? And so the way that we do that is that it doesn't necessarily need to be in the post, right? So we've been very strategic about how we actually have set up all of the profiles of the thought leaders at KlientBoost. So you can see here, we've opted for this. It says marketing at KlientBoost. It doesn't have my full job title. And the reason for that is we want to save some screen real estate so that we can actually have the tie back to the business here, which is the revenue obsessed marketing agency. And so when somebody reads this, they then know that, okay, this is Patrick. He works in marketing at KlientBoost. KlientBoost is a revenue obsessed marketing agency. So then they're able to complete that. Oh, this makes sense. And they're able to tie us to a buying situation. And then what we would also do is I would actually switch up and edit this post and change this PS to something that promotes our marketing plan. And so what that CTA would look like is I would probably write, are you struggling to get your LinkedIn thought leadership ads to generate revenue? Get in touch with us for a free marketing plan, and we will put together a strategy that shows you exactly how to do that. And the benefit there is that we're also, again, creating that correct mental association. Not only are we encouraging people to get in touch with us by adding this link to our primary offer, but also reaffirming we are a marketing agency. We create and implement strategies that help you improve your paid ads. So then we're completing that full circle. So that is everything that we had planned. By the end of this, you should be able to set up an effective revenue generating LinkedIn ads thought leadership program. I hope you found it useful, and I will catch you in the next one.